could have just recorded and put it up later. But no, I said I'd do a quick little live while I'm in here. God, it feels so creepy in here now, man. Yo, what's up? What's up, fuck Justin Trudeau? Hey, did you ever see that thing, did you? Did you ever see that? An obedient citizen is a good citizen. Right? Right in our face the whole time. So yeah, I'm in town for a quick visit, so I said I'd do a little live in here. See what the aura is all about in here. Although the second I got off the bus, it's like you're in bleeding, look in front of me, it's like you're in bleeding Bangladesh. What's the story, Eunice? yeah, Dublin Castle, yeah, there it is, yeah. I can't pronounce the Latin right, but basically translates into an obedient citizen is a good citizen. They don't fucking hide it. What's the story, Will.i.am? Man, the vibes in here are just fucking off. Just so off. What the fuck is that? Vereen. Hello, Park. What's the story? Oh yeah, wee bit. So it's been a bit of a crazy week. Well, I say crazy week. The last say 3 weeks to a month. You'll notice that they're doing all this Indian propaganda stuff. Right? And usually whatever starts in the UK comes over here. But for some reason it started here first. And now I'm starting to see reports in the UK where these reporters are going to these people's houses talking about their children getting bullied by other children and getting told to go home and all this. Now, ask yourself this, right? This is what I was wondering when I was watching it. I was like, since when do new companies go around to individuals' houses because their children are being bullied? When's the last time you've seen that happen? You've probably seen it happen when a child, God forbid, does something like unalives himself or herself or something like that. You've probably seen them go around then. But even then, most of the time, because of the severity of it, the parents don't want to, be on camera or anything like this. You know, there's still that sort of stigma of like the shame of a person unaliving themselves brings shame on the family, all that stuff. So they don't want to talk about it. You know, that way. Some will, but most won't, because it's shameful and all that shit, right? Not to talk down the seriousness of that topic, but that's the truth of the matter. You know what I mean? I don't sugarcoat that. But yeah, I've seen 3 reports done now of these news companies going around to this, and our story keeps changing, by the way. Sorry about the wind. Our story keeps changing. Like, it's changed maybe 4 times now, and it's pretty obvious what they're doing. Like, what did I call it? Inversion of culture is what it's called. And it's not the first time it's been used. It's been used throughout history. It's always been used. The Russians used it. The Chinese used it, you know. And if you look at the situation in Japan now, they're using it now at the moment as well in Japan. I always told you there was something that drew me to Japan, and I got strung out and looking deep into them for a good 6-7 months, you know, their history and what they're all about and their culture. So I started following a few pages on Twitter from Japan, and the exact same thing is happening there. They're getting a lot of Kurds over there currently at the moment, And like there's a few top politicians that are like getting involved in relationships with these individuals, which is probably just a front to, further the agenda. Same statues. Yeah, stop the blading boats is right, huh? Stop the boats. It's almost eerie facial expression, isn't it? Happy Monday, it's 4:20. What's the story? Oh, I never noticed that. Look, I never noticed that one. A pair of children's shoes. People leaving stones with little messages. This. What the fuck? I point to boot that in the thing, but I won't. It's probably some kid who left it. So as I say, yeah. So I do see, like I said, I'm following a couple of pages in like Asia, Japan particularly, because it was drawn there, and I'm trying to stop the wind from going over me mic. I have to get one of those little handheld mics. And I see a growing thing now where, like I said, a couple of the high ups over there, like a couple of high politicians in Japan are starting to intermarry with these Kurdish type of people, and even the Somalians, like, even the Somalians are taking it over in Japan. It's crazy stuff. What's that? Oh, sorry, Carla. I missed a comment there. Someone said Carla saw a comment on X looking for context and bring up Alamina. Yeah, I don't know. Is that pride on the side of that thing? What was I saying there? I think what's his name? The Freedom Dad is still quite active, isn't he? So he's quite active up there and does a lot of lives and takes you around the cities and stuff like that. Like I said, I'd love to get around more, but work's just taking up so much bleeding time, and now with everything now at this time of year, like the back to school and all that shit, you know what I mean? It's a lot of bleeding. It's a lot of dosh. Everything's just so fucking expensive. To finally have to put that extra bit of fucking effort in, and that's with ourselves working as well. To change your exam seems a second to none. I seen that I seen the what was it? There's two Japanese guys, reporters, and the train went by them at like, I don't know, must have been about 220 mile per hour, and even they were shocked by it. The whole carriage just went by, and like there was about 4 carriages on it, and it went by in about less than 5 seconds. Well ahead of us. Yeah. And I was talking to another girl who has 4 daughters in the same school as mine. I was talking to her, seen her in the park. Well, my daughter and her daughter seen each other first, went over, gave each other a big hug and all that. And I was talking away to her, and she was saying, the way she looked at it, it was like we were talking about the amount of money for the uniforms and the bags and all this stuff, and then she goes, well, at least we don't have to buy the books. In the back of my head I'm thinking, yeah, well, you're not concerned about that, because I always ask my daughter when she comes back, so what did they read to you today, do you know that way? But thankfully it's still all just, they're reading how to grow like this. It's a book about Jesus and stuff like that, so I don't mind that stuff. What's on the base of the poles? Well, they seem to have got rid of. They got rid of this one here. These poles you talking about? It's the whole day, so there's more people out. They haven't really coloured. They've went over this. They just got lazy and went over that one. They haven't coloured it in blue or anything. Obedient citizen is a good citizen. Didn't have to buy the books, but had to pay nearly 800 for iPads. Jesus. In my girls' school, they have this big. You know when you go in and do the parent-teacher thing, right? They have this big screen, big massive screen, and they're tying in all these, having these like American students interact with Irish students through this TV thing. So I went and looked a bit more into it, and it's got to be something that they're going to do twice a month. Where now, trust me, I'm going to be asking her loads of questions like, what are these fuckers asking you through this TV and all, you know? Ah, poor little guy, look. Yeah, right. Fly up. Don't sting me. Go on, there you go. Bit of height for you. So no one steps on you. Huh? Anyway. I'm a fucker for that. I just can't see them on the ground. I hate when people just step on them. Read a bit of the New Testament to your child every day, just a couple of lines, so you'll be exposed to the truth. Like, oh, that's lovely. That's lovely. I always, well, I do talk about Jesus a lot to her, you know, and like his sort of message that he wanted to give to the world. So she's look at that thing. Look at that on the side of the building. Ceasefire now. Gobbers. What was I saying there? They send their homework in primary schools via the school's website. Yeah, you know, I brought that up as well to her when I was in there. I was like, why are they still giving children homework? You know? It's like they always say when you're in work, like, you don't bring your work home with you. Why are they sending bleeding work home with them? You know, and I said it to the teacher, and it was weird. I don't know if it was me that it was because of me saying it to her, but she introduced this thing now that if all the children in the class, there's about 17, 18 in her class, and if all of them do the homework for a straight week, that they get the following week off, you know. So they keep like rotate where they get a week off of doing homework type of thing. It's probably because I bleeding lambasted her over it. I was like, why are you bleeding sending work home with them? Do you know what I mean? It's up on the NACE. It's up on NACE, I think. FJT. What's up to now? 2.5 billion or something like that. My spider sense was tingling around that place ever since I seen the bird's eye view of it. It's a giant fucking eye. Do you know? It's a giant fucking Illuminatus. God knows what's going to happen in that fucking hospital. How you back, Trevor? What's the story, man? Hope you're well. I just said I'd do a quick little live while I'm in here. I'm in here to collect a few things. There's a lovely church I'm going to show you over here as well. That video you did the other day, Bog, you got a little bit choked up on it. I fucking felt myself getting a bit choked up just listening to you doing it. You know what that was about. Maybe we were connecting on some way or something like that, I don't know. I felt myself getting bleeding choked up watching. James Power is the creator. 19. Oh, there's that number again. There's that. I keep seeing this number everywhere. 88. I am seeing it everywhere I bleed and look. Presented to the citizens of Dublin by the Dublin Matt Talbot Committee for the Millennium Year. I'm sure if I go in a bit further, Michael, I'll see a few of them. But I'm just hanging about this area here and going back down that way now in a minute. I'm going to show you this church over here. See, it's not when I'm out and about and I'm doing lives, it's just whenever I feel drawn to video, I'll just video. There's no script here, and let's just go with the flow. And respond to you as well, as much as I can. The Immaculate Heart of Mary. Look at that, look at the windows on it. Gosh, the guard will turn up in 2 minutes. Stop bleeding, Muslim down, filming outside a Catholic church. Huh? Guy with a beard outside the church. Quick, go. Look at the windows on it. Lovely. There she is, right in the middle. Is that gold plated? It's lovely. And you know, out in my area, out in Coolock, I heard a that's probably going to pick up the scan that bleeding QR code, is it? I heard my local church doing this pattern, and I didn't notice it, so I stopped and I listened to it for a while. But it was doing this tune that I couldn't quite figure out. I went home and I tried, looking it up as best I could, but I just couldn't figure it out. But that my local church was doing a tune that I had never heard before. It was really weird. It was like airy in a way. It made me stop in my tracks and kind of, take it in, listen to it as much as I could. But there's something about the bells as well, isn't there? There's something about the bells ringing that they wanted removed. Like, they buried loads of bells and everything around the world. Sure, you'd be happy. Is it a Proddy church? Whatever. It's just a nice church. Blinker stickers over to catch people out. I wouldn't be surprised. Look at this fella. Hello. Just chilling, just sunbathing. I won't bother you, bud. They still ring the bells here at midday. So nice to hear. Yeah, I say it because with my local church, you never hear them do it, And what date is it today? I forget the date. So on the 10th of August, yesterday, they start playing this rhyme or tune, and I had never heard it. Like, it was so unusual, that way? It just stopped me in my tracks. These are all just gambling things. Yeah, it would be nice, because in that little, when I stopped and I was listening, it was like, I don't know, I was taking it in, the way? It's like contemplating in a way. It made me stop and just in my own thoughts for that few seconds, which is unheard of. Nowadays, you don't have time to stop and think, but the bells did. They made me stop and just, take it in a bit. Saying them things about the QR code there, there was, I think I seen Derek Bly put up a post outside, I think it was DCU or UCD or DCU, one of those places, and I had all these signs. I have the image, I'll put a post up on it on my community wall, because I saved the image of it once I seen it, and it has all these signs saying, it's not just looking, and then in big red letters it has, it's sexual harassment. It's like, what the fuck? This is how they're converting them into fucking snowflakes. This is how they're converting people into snowflakes, with these stupid signs like that, you know? What's up? I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Das Vidania. Yeah, Thomas, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard because we all know that the people up there, the people up the north, face the same fucking future as we do down here. Like we have the same sort of enemy. But the overall enemy is the government, to be honest. Like they're the ones they're the ones enforcing all of this. They're the ones that are allowing them all to come in, you know. And isn't it weird how, you know, all those, no, some people don't like saying like the lefties or whatever. You just say the NGO class, right? Isn't it funny how their enemy as well, they claim it's the government, right? Whereas that would be their number one enemy, would be, yeah, it's the government, of course. They're the ones that are allowing all this to happen. They're the ones that are enforcing the laws. They're the ones that are telling the guard, oh yeah, you can go and you can spy on the WhatsApp groups and all this. But yet there's something that comes in and says, nope, you are still the opposite side. No matter if the government is both your enemies, you two are enemies as well. And that's why they bring up all the racial stuff, because they know they have people who will alright mate, calm down. There's a swan out there, look. Because they know they have people here in this country who will do whatever it takes to emulate their party members, you know, when they're all out there with their Palestine flags and everything, and they're saying, go look at my last community post. I put one up of a Shinner saying, she has up on her Twitter, her out there with a Palestine flag, and she's saying, when my daughters ask me, what did you do? I'm going to say, I went out and I protested and I stood there and I didn't comply and all this. It's like, but that doesn't mean fucking anything. It doesn't mean anything to Ireland, you know? But that's not, doing shit like that's not going to do anything for us. All that's doing is, you're creating more of a divide within Ireland itself, you know? Because in her head, she knows the state Ireland is in currently. She knows where this is going to lead us. Yet she's still willing to keep the focus on Palestine. And so she knows what she's doing, you know? Of course, they're all on the gravy train. I can't see any other reason why they would do all this stuff. It's all ties back to money. How much are you willing, or what's the least amount you will take to sell your country out? Is what priority. I always have trouble saying that fucking word. Irish not fair away. Remember that when you're up against these lefties. Right? Should have nobody. Listen, even if I went in, right, they would eventually figure it out. Well, not figure it out, but in their heads they would work out that this guy isn't gonna say good things about us, so we have to get rid of him. That's what they do, dog man. That's what they do. So if an independent, like look at your man. Sorry, it's very windy here. If you look at your man, Wesley Winter, right? The Asian guy in England, right? And he's no qualms about it. That's what he says, right? But he's English. Listen to him and everything. But when he goes as a neutral to these events where, let's say, the left and the right, when he goes to them, anytime he goes over to where the right, so the nationalists, right, anytime he's over with them, they're all welcoming, they all want to talk to him, they're all high-fiving him, great work that you're doing and all this stuff. When literally all he does is walk around showing you what's going on in the country. But as soon as he goes into the lefty NGO side, he's lambasted. He's told by these guys in high-vis suits, get out of here, we don't want you here, type of thing. See, they don't want, because if he is in there and he has his camera on and they're all talking about their next step and their plan and what they're going to do and all, some of them might fuck up and say something crucial like, well, you go to this spot at this particular time and that's when you get paid. Shit like that might come up. That's why they don't want him there. Do you know? So you will not be able to converse with them, and if you do, it won't last long, because there'll be someone else higher up in the crowd of them with them that knows all the YouTubers, and will be like, no, don't talk to him, he's far right, he's this, he's that. You know, that's what happens every time. And if you just go and look up, go and give Wesley Winter, Bog Trotter knows him. Go and look at his last 2 videos, and you'll see these people come up to him in high vis and try shun him out of the area, you know. But of course, he's smart enough to stand by the police, and the police are the ones that enforce all the laws. So they're like, no, you can't remove him from a public space. You know what I mean? Like, he's not saying anything. He's just standing there with his camera. He also, as well, caught. He was walking down this, like, it was like a lane area with trees on both sides, and he caught one of the police telling his workmates, let me know if you see any of these far right fascists. Do you know what I mean? So they have it in their head what they're looking for when they're going out to these events. India, what's this? What? Christians, what's this? Which country? Yeah, you might as well say fucking India. But it's Dublin, Ireland. Worship only God of Jesus. I don't try to go too much off on the religious side of everything. I know it's definitely, I suppose the religious aspect comes into it, because I've often said that this is some type of spiritual war that we're in, you know. It's like more and more people are waking up to the reality of it's just really good versus evil. Like, that's all it really is. It's just good versus evil. Simple as that. There's a force out there that wants to dilute nations, you know, wants to flood nations with all these low IQ people so they're easier to control. That's the whole point of that, right? And yeah, you could go a step further and go, well, then who's the ones that are enforcing that and wanting that to happen? As far as you can see, it's just the governments, but obviously there's someone telling these governments what to do. Like, we're not tick. There's someone telling our governments that they have to do this, because they always throw the thing back at you. Well, to them, in their eyes, the EU is the boss, right? So when you raise the question of no, we can't take any more, they'll turn around and say, well, you know, if we don't take any more, the EU is going to fine us and it's going to come out of your pocket. Do you know, that's their fallback. That's their passing the buck. Scoobies, yeah. So most people think the Scoobies. I reckon it's Would you reckon they're clever enough to control every aspect of it though? I'd say there has to be a mixture there, a conglomerate of people or of ethnicities or whatever. Oh, you could just say, yeah, follow the money. Whoever can print the money is the real powerhouse. The real ones who control the power are the ones who control the money flow. Never get a taxi driver. I wouldn't. Although I did see two videos coming out of England of two foreign taxi men, right? Now they were nice to the people in that car, right? Because they were talking away, and your man goes, I have you on camera here. You don't mind being on camera, do you? He's like, no, not at all. And this guy had been living in England for like 30 years. And he was like, he goes, England's fucked. He says, you've just let government get their claws in everywhere and take too much power away from you, And they're all like, well, then what's the solution? What do we do? And he goes, well, instead of going outside all the hotels, and your woman interrupts him and goes, but that's all we know what to do. That's all we know what to do is, or that's all we know how to protect the people in the local area is to go outside these hotels and let them know that we know, like put a presence on the doorstep of them. And he's like, no, you need to go off and kick off murder outside number 10. That's what you need to do, But he was just, it's a conversation that goes on for like 20-30 minutes. I think Sue put it up. Have a look at Sue's channel. I think he's an Algerian fella. Can't escape him. Yeah, Deliveroo. If I go up there to the left, there's fucking all holes. They go up there beside the Connolly statue. That's like their meeting point, is the Connolly statue. Look at that thing. Nice little model in it. Yeah, that would be... Oh, someone's getting timed out there. Someone said close your pockets. Joe Blogs, yeah. Mass non-compliance. I said it a couple of months ago. If we could only get everybody, or maybe even like just 70%, maybe even just, that's still a lot of people, but like 70% of the people that work in this country, and just say no, not going to work, no, and just shut the fucker down, man. That's it. That would really send a message. Mass non-compliance. Another one is, they really didn't like it when we blocked up the port, or when we blocked the M50. They really didn't like that, and it showed because they came out and did more and more hit pieces on people that were in attendance at this, so the establishment doesn't like that, and it should be stuff like that we should be doing, like a certain individual, I'm not going to name him because they're probably looking for things to sting them with, But that day down at the port was such, I don't know, it was so fucking powerful. And there was literally only 300 of us, if that, down there. And we blocked the whole port up. It was fucking an amazing day. Yeah. Well, when I say the M50, right, that was all the people from Coolock. There was about 1,000 of us that night, and we blocked the whole fucking thing up. Like, it went back for miles and miles. Yeah, it might be a slight inconvenience for people coming home from work or whatever, but who gives a fuck when you're bleeding, when the women and children are being sexually abused and fucking, you know, all this stuff. Like, that should be more important to you than if you believe in extra minutes getting home from work. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm going to do I don't have the Babs midweek this week, so I'm gonna do look out for me community posts, and I'll do a live from the gaff, right? Do like a 2-3 hour session from the gaff on just stories that I put up. And I'll try not use Twitter as much. I know some people just don't like who's that? Eunice doesn't like the old, didn't come here for the fucking Twitter party. That's where, I tell you, that's where the majority of stories are allowed to be spoken, is Twitter, you know. That's where I get a lot of information from. But yeah, look out for me a community post, and I'll put a date up for midweek this week where I'll go live from the gaff and we'll have a catch up, right? Just have to go into the shop here. Go on. I love you, Amigas.